Alright, welcome back. In the previous episode, I believe we did Worlds 1 and 2. Um, so, at this point, I am going to be doing these posts after like the first two levels of this. I decided that I really wanted to be able to save. Because that's the unfortunate part of the old school Mario games. Before Mario World, I don't think they had save features on any of them. Even especially Mario 3, that's quite the detriment to the playing experience, in my opinion. Especially if you don't know where the warp flutes are. Alright, so if you use the special potion thing, or the magic potion, go through the door into subspace around that pot, that will warp you to World 5. So just so you know. Alright, give me this. Get lost. Alright. Just keep holding up, you'll be fine. They home in on your current location when they come in on the screen, so as long as you're holding up, they won't be able to do anything. Okay, so if you have Peach or Luigi and do a running jump, you should be able to make it. I kind of forgot about this when recording it. There's a shortcut that'll take you right over to Birdo. But since I didn't realize that, and you can't change your character at all until you either game over or beat the level, I just had to suck it up and play the level like it was intended. I know. It's awful. Alright, so I think those are supposed to be blue Shy Guys, although to me they look not blue. They look, I don't know, they kind of look a little grayish to pinkish to me, but maybe that's just me and my color. It's like color blindness. It's one of the worst placed plants in the game. And yeah, as you can probably guess, I'm gonna die here because you can't do anything to them. They're one of those few enemies that you can't stand on. Because as soon as you do, they're going to... I mean, even if you... Yep. Thankfully, the mushrooms that can kill the enemies can't kill you. Not sure how that mushroom platform is just sitting there, but alright. So, of the, original Marios, the old school 2D Mario games, obviously World is probably most people's favorite, just because of how much they did in the game, or, the amount of stuff that they did in the game. But of, the old school ones, the NES games, I suppose. NES and Famicom. If Lost Levels is your favorite, I'm seriously questioning your sanity, but no judgment otherwise. Alright, so this is the Red Birdo. Red Birdo is a piece of crap. I don't like Red Birdo. I don't like any of the Birdos. And I think it just comes down to the fact that it's the same thing every level, basically. I think there's maybe one or two levels, excluding boss levels, obviously, that Birdo isn't in. And even that Birdo is still in some of the later boss levels. But it's more or less just the same fight over and over again, and it just gets tiring. Okay. I try not to spend too much time on these, because usually you're not going to get much. I mean, if you're good, obviously, you can. But that might have been like the first extra life that I had gotten out of any of these slots. Some people are really good at it and can time their inputs very well. I'm with it. I can occasionally get like 2 in a row or 2 of the same kind, but sometimes just, you know, mispress or it's not in time. So close to getting a 5 up. Alright. So, this level introduces us to Ostro, which are those ostrich things. I don't like, I mean, I don't like most of the enemies in this game. In fact, I really don't like any of them. But Ostros are just annoying because, one, they're fast. They're fast, and often they come in pairs like that, and can catch you off guard. And even if you killed the ostrich, you didn't technically kill the shy guy on top of them. So, alright, so if you're playing as either Peach or Luigi to an extent, this level can be a lot easier because of the fact that you can make it across those gaps. I believe this is a level that continually loops. So if you're going across like the top here, you're just going to keep going in circles. Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty annoying when they constantly respawn like that. And that's me hitting the jump button and the controller saying, "Nope, I'm good." Gotta love old school inputs. Honestly, I have that same trouble with like newer games as well. This is the level that this level and the next level were the ones that drained my lives. And I was like, alright, yeah, I'm good. I would rather just play this on an emulator and be able to get through this without too many headaches. And other than like the last level, I really didn't have too many problems once I switched over. So I think moral of the story is use an emulator when playing this game. If you aren't bothered by, you know, playing an emulator, and to be clear, I do own the game myself. I own my own NES cartridge. So it's not even like I'm stealing the game or something. And I mean, let's be clear, you're really not making much off of actual releases of this game anymore. I think it is on the Nintendo eShop or whatever, or in the like the NES and SNES collection or whatever that is. I can't remember. I have a physical copy. So, it's not even like I play this game very much. Although this was technically my first Mario game, and I can't remember if I was talking about it in the previous episode. That's the one downside to playing these live by myself, though, is it can be kind of tough for me to like keep commentary going and focus on the game to the point that I can actually do well in the game. Also, I really hate the timing of Birdo's attacks. This is just a side note. Screw you, Birdo. This fight is going on way longer than I'd really like. Alright. Okay, so... Rip. Alright, so I end up choosing Luigi for this level. This is at the point where I decide to switch over, and you can kind of tell because the image isn't quite as grainy, but I don't know, it feels a little more washed out. Maybe that's just because of Luigi. I believe this is maybe the first level that we're introduced to Bob-ombs, which did make their appearance in this game. I can't remember. Because there are a couple of enemies that do show up that do make the jump over to actual Mario games. Because, yeah, I mean, this isn't technically a Mario game. This was originally Doki Doki Panic over in Japan, which is slightly different. But because of Mario 2 Lost Levels, which is what we know it as, that was the original Mario 2. It's probably a story you all know by this point, but Nintendo of America thought the game was going to be too hard for American players, or they thought it was like American players wouldn't really appreciate the game, since it's basically just a harder version of Mario 1. So they elected to port over this game, Doki Doki Panic, and just give it a little facelift. Alright, be careful here, because that guy will just kind of show up out of nowhere. That's the one thing I don't like, is when enemies really show up out of nowhere and wreck your pod shot you like that. The other benefit of doing this on an emulator is my controller doesn't suck, so I'm actually able to get across those chains. I did notice, though, that this feels slower than the original. I don't know if that's like just a quirk of the emulator, or if it was a quirk of the game, or the actual game. Don't really need that hard, but sure. So I hope at this point everyone's enjoyed this, at least the first episode. Though I do have my frustrations with this game, because again, this isn't really my favorite, even though it was technically my first. Um, I am glad that I'm finally getting to this, and it's something that's been long coming for the channel. Um, when we originally started doing these, we did this game, and then we did Castlevania 1 and Metroid 1, and then Pokemon Red. I think those were the first like 4 series that we did, all sort of old school games that I really kind of wanted the channel to kind of be. That was sort of my goal, or at least my kind of vision for the channel, because I was very much into like and I still am into like AVGN, and the biggest inspiration for me was the Super Gaming Brothers, which at this point they've disbanded, sort of, just moving on with lives and stuff, and you know, good for them. I'm happy that they had such a successful career on YouTube. I'm glad that they are able to move forward with their lives. But yeah, they were kind of the inspiration for me in this channel. I kind of wanted it to be like me and a friend or two, just, you know, hanging out, playing some of these old school games. And at a certain point, we were kind of like, I think more specifically, Luke was kind of getting tired of the one person plays while the other person watches. So we did kind of start switching over to a couple of more co-op type games. And you know, I mean, we had a Hat in Time and a few other things, and those were a lot of fun, and I really did enjoy doing those. But I am glad that I did get back to some classic games, like did Tomb Raider, I did Spyro, or I'm doing Spyro right now. And then doing a couple other things, like obviously I did Halo with friend Connor, and trying to think, because there's so many different series that I've done. I've been like really happy that we've been able to do these. Obviously we did Halo, and Ben and I have been working on getting back to Final Fantasy VI. The thing is, Ben in particular just has a lot to do in life. So he just hasn't really had as much time to meet up throughout the year. But I will say, we are starting to get back into recording for Final Fantasy VI. And these are cameras, by the way. No, I think they're like moving turrets. They like to show up like that. So be careful. So, and obviously I did Castlevania 3 just recently, or started doing it. I think technically it started at the beginning of October, and it'll be ending at the end of October. Doing this series, I'm happy that I'm finally getting back to this. Did a Pokemon Crystal with as a switchback collab with one of my friends, Brandon, his channel Rando, and we managed to get through Johto, and I'm finishing off Kanto since he kind of wanted to take a break from YouTube, and I respect that. That is the one nice thing when you just do like a bulk recording of everything. Then all you have to do is just kind of do some editing here and there to just keep things going while you take a sort of a break, but you're still, still uploading stuff on like a daily basis, or right now currently a bi-daily basis. Alright, so this is another level where you can find a warp pipe. So that potion that we just used, you need to take that across this level. Also, the whale things, they're spouts, the water spouts. The sides of them will hurt you, but the top of it won't. Since we're not using the warp pipe, because, why would we do that? It's a Let's Play where I want to show off the levels for the most part. Unless there's like a shortcut within the level, then I might, I've been kind of trying to show those off as well. Where Peach is really nice for this level because she can usually just hover over all of the whales. You just gotta be careful, obviously. So right here, this pot. All the characters can reach it, although it's a little easier as Peach. Also, this world really likes these rockets. Okay, so you need to hop onto this thing, and you're gonna have to duck to avoid this. Excellent. Alright. Now we need to go and deal with Birdo. So, I guess kind of finishing up the point that it was kind of making, as, time went on, I obviously started doing some stuff on my own, because I knew eventually Luke wasn't going to want to do these Let's Plays all the time, or forever at least. And, I mean, we both kind of agreed that, or at least, soft agreed that after we were done with college, he probably wouldn't be doing them anymore. Which, completely fine. You got your own life. You gotta go and do your own things. So I kind of started doing stuff on my own, and I think the first two series that I did was a Stardew Valley run and a Civilization 6 run. I want to say as Kamer. And both of those, I mean, both did pretty well. I mean, I guess pretty well for my standards, at least. And I really did enjoy doing stuff on my own as well. Like, obviously, I still enjoy doing stuff with other people, because, I mean, having someone else to bounce commentary off of is personally a little more enjoyable to me than doing it by myself. But I realize that it's not always the most enjoyable for other people to just kind of sit and watch someone else play a game and do commentary for it. Alright. So if you're Peach or Luigi, this is a level that you can bypass a lot of stuff. So, hup. Definitely need to make sure that you get a running jump. Throw my vegetable at you. Alright. So yeah, we're basically at the boss already. So yeah, just skipped basically all of the level. So this is Fryguy. Fryguy is not a hard boss, as long as you remember to utilize the wrapping of the screen and avoid like the very edge like that, because he can hurt you from that side, from the opposite side if you're in the correct spot. Now, once you hit Fryguy 3 times, he'll break up into 4 little Fryguys. And unfortunately, we missed one. And the more of them you kill, the more aggressive they become. And unfortunately, this one is a spry little guy, a little Fryguy. We end up killing him, but he ends up killing us too. Killing us at the same time, so... Okay, that... I wasn't sure how long that pause screen was going to last, so... we're just gonna take a second go at him. Making sure to give ourselves, give him a handicap so he doesn't, just so he doesn't feel like it's too hard on him. Ooh. He is fast, though. That is the one, like, thing with Fryguy. He is pretty fast, so the only downside of picking Peach is the fact that she is not fast at picking up items. Bam! That's what you like to do. They usually can't get up to the upper platforms, so if you're like standing on one of those high platforms, they're gonna kind of like jump to about where you're at. And you can use that to your advantage. Gotta rack up a bunch of lives for these later worlds. Alright, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next part.